Hi all. Right, welcome back. Enemy action Kharkov, Soviet Solo. Now, where are we? Take two, part. I think this is 61, but this is a redo of 61. Oh, you're not going to see the old 61. Yeah, because while doing 61, I realised a mistake I had made. However, Martin's pointed me towards another mistake I made within it. Now, I made a wee note in the header of 60, recognising my mistake, but because the mistake that Martin's pointed out, that could be a totally different thing, and I'm going to have to redo this bit. So, yeah, I was just putting 61 together, to be honest, and yeah, this will run slightly differently, I guess. Okay, I've maybe seen a couple of cards of things that are going to happen. I've reset things to where they are. It's not that any new knowledge I've found I can manipulate in any way, and I wouldn't do that anyway. Is what to be playing the game properly. So if it means I can go back and fix it before it goes on too far. Yeah, I did think about sort of saying, okay, well, I've kind of done this now, but no, I think it's far more important to be doing this right, and it just there's just so much to keep an eye on in this game that it's just so easy. It is so easy to make mistakes, and actually, the mistake that I'd made here, I was quite chuffed about actually noticing. Whether it might come up here again, it might when we actually pick our correct target. We're picking the wrong target here, and that's, although it's easy to make mistakes, I'm saying it's silly. It really is. I mean, how I can look at this guy as a printed 2 and not see this guy as a printed 1, I don't know. They're right beside each other. Could I blame the blue cube on top? Well, that's the reason I put the blue cubes rather than have it like this. That's the reason I put the blue cubes, so that I can get a little bit of a look at the unit, you know. And it's not only even that. I mean, even if I thought this might be a 2 strength, I'm not seeing that. This guy's a 2, and again, I guess I get blinkered vision. I focus in on something, and I don't know. I mean, a lot of the time I'm spotting things that are quite tricky looking, but why am I not seeing that? Why am I not catching that out? You know, because I think I'll look about it first, because do I not look at these guys up here? And we're talking about, obviously, well, we're only halfway through things. I've reset now. Yeah, I think where we left the recording, we had already conducted this combat, had we? Oh yeah, that was very smart, Grant, was it? Hang on a sec to make sure I'm at the right bit. Yeah, it was, because I had to cut the video. It was going on a bit, and then we were going to have another activation of this card, because the major offensive bonus activation thing had got triggered because it eliminated a unit in the combat, and we ended up with 2 stacks of units dispersed here. However, I was then fixing that part because it shouldn't have ended up. Then I went and done the combat again, and it ended up the 2 units still. Well, ended up an extra unit, because what happened was this guy actually, they left the town empty, came out and attacked the unit, and they had a bit more strength, extra chip pool, ended up eliminating the unit and not becoming dispersed. But of course, this should have been the target. Because even if he had been, for some reason, he's not. He's a situational strength of 2. He's got 2 base 2. He's adjacent to where's the get the bit open, Grant? He's a defender adjacent to supplied Soviet unit. So he's a defender. He's adjacent to a supplied Soviet unit. So he gets a +1 for that, right? And he gets a -1 because we've got the major offensive card. So a +1 -1. Hang on. Right, sorry, what was I saying? Right, so he's got a +1 and then a -1. So he's still a 2. This guy here, I mean, I didn't even look at him though, so I don't know why I'm trying to add things up. He's got an IP. So he gets a +1 for having an IP, which takes him to 2. But he still gets a -1 as well. Takes him back to 1. He is clearly the weakest unit. However, not only that, on the card, the preference is weakest unit, and the second preference is VP hex. You know, so if it come down to being both being 2, this would still become the preference, because they'd be just as weak as each other, and this would be in a VP hex, and this guy would not. I just don't know how. It bugs me that I missed these things. I know there's a lot to keep track of. There is. I mean, when you draw over a card and you think, right, can I get dangerous around removed from this unit, and you're looking and you're like trying to work it all out. There's a lot to take in. I get that, but bugs me things like that. It still feels like I'm just messing up the simpler things. I feel like I'm getting the more complex stuff and then messing up the simple ones. Martin also pointed out that this is actually a situational strength of 2 as well, because yes, he gets a +1 for being adjacent to a supplied Soviet unit, takes him to 4, gets a -1 for the major offensive card, takes him to 3. He's outside Soviet support, takes him to 2. So and this guy would be 2 +1 for the IP, +1 for adjacent, so that's 4. And then he's also outside the thing, so that takes him back down to 2 as well. So these would both be 2s as well, and I never even considered them. That one, okay, outside Soviet support, I've missed that, but so I mean, I can sort of let myself away with that one a bit, but no, this one. This one's inside Soviet support, and he's a strength of 1. Yeah, he's got an IP on him, but the IP on him is just the same as having a defender adjacent. It gives a +1. He gets a +1. You know, it's that's annoying. What else did Martin say? Yes, well, can I put a question back to him regarding stuff, but I'm going to have to do this again. I mean, I was doing it again anyway. I started the video and I've done it again because well, hopefully I'll get to show you, because I thought it was quite interesting how it panned out. Because I move Unit 3 out and we come into, I want to say we come into here to attack. I think that's right. I think that's the first move. Unit 4 can't move because he's surrounding that guy. So Unit 7's next, and I decide that I can't move him out because he's going to be leaving this a Soviet unit proximate to this hex. And I put a note in the header saying that's not the case. If I move that unit out and he would end up going there, no Soviet, and it's part of the thing is because he ends up going here, and I make this statement. Well, you're not going to see that recording now. I actually say that, going by the way the rules are written and the thing that John Butterfield's just changed about the wording, that going by the way it's written in the rule book, the unit would actually go here because he doesn't want to go to a hex that's adjacent to a German unit adjacent to the same Soviet unit. So he would have actually gone to there, and then this unit would be proximate to the town. So he would have said, well, no, I'm not moving out of there. However, with the new way that John's worded it, not occupied by or adjacent to a German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit, means that both these hexes don't apply. Then he looks at the next preference, empty hex, goes in there, And now look, this guy can't move from here to here because he's on a control, Neither can these, and this can't get in either. So, have I got them in the right place? I'm starting to worry that these aren't in the right spot. Could they be maybe there? Hang on a sec. No, that is right actually. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing, and I realised I had to fix that. The combat became 3 strength better off, and also a chip pool better off, and it turned out slightly different because I just used the same chits that I'd drawn. Now, fortunately, I'm going to be able to redo this and use the same chits yet again. So I should be able to do it properly now. It's a shame. There's a bit of footage that I've obviously played through, but it's okay. The timing's not perfect. I had started recording stuff and putting a bit together, but I do want to try and make this right while I can. Okay. And that's the whole point of trying to chuck the videos out before I've even looked at them. Although, would I have spotted that? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's silly, isn't it? Just pay more attention, a wee bit more care, Grant. Just careless. Right, okay, well, let's start from this. We've got this. We're on this major offensive card. That's where we're at. We're starting there now. So, right, hang on. Okay, here we go. Right, so it's kind of like deja vu twice for me here. Starting this again. And again. Right, okay. Situational stress. Well, let's not mess about. Here's a target, right? Do we really need to go through things? I've just went through all that part really. So can we just say that this is our target? Now, yeah. Here's the thing. Martin also pointed out, and I posted a question back because I think this is one of the bits that he had to explain to me a bit more when I'm playing Ardennes, and he says it's important to note. I better get the right word on how he's used here. Hang on. Yeah, so what he said is, it's important to note that the movement restrictions in 10.11 are not considered when checking for proximity. Yeah, and what he means by that is, I think, I'm saying, right, the situation is this. Can I move this unit round to here? Like, can this unit move round to here? Proximate. Now, I think this is what I talked about, didn't I? Because it's breaking a restriction, but I'm not looking at that yet. I'm looking to see if he can come round. And this is what I was trying to get across, and I don't know if I got it across in this part, or I might have started talking it more in the part that I'm just about to replace, which is unfortunate. But I think I've asked him a question back to say that, so the fact that this could satisfy the situation, this part, say we needed this extra 4 strength, it could satisfy the situation. We're not caring about the movement restrictions yet. Does that then mean that the situation is satisfied and we can move on to the action? And then when we move to the action, we say, right, we're moving this guy down. And then we say, oh, wait, we can't because we're breaking a restriction. And that's what I was trying to ask Martin, because this is definitely something that happened in the previous game that kind of got me a bit, and it had to be explained to me. Oh, that's clever, Grant. Both of these are flipped. Yeah, that's right. They were both flipped. It had to be explained to me. And I think that's what he's meaning by that. But I want to be doubly sure, because he carries on by saying, it's important to note that movement instructions in 10.1 are not considered when checking for proximity. You add all the units to the situation calculation, even though they won't be able to perform the action. So I wish he had carried on a wee bit more, because what I've since then asked is, well, hang on, he's just replied to me. Well, I said, so is this the part that this could still satisfy the situation, and then because certain units may be restricted to move, the action could still go ahead without the restricted units? I recall you putting me straight on something like this within any action or down. But I'm not really that sure about that. What's he saying? Forget that. I normally use a playtest PDF because it's easier. However, when I sat down to play, I saw 10.11 has been added as a proximity restriction in the final rules version. Right, I don't know where we're going there. Okay, I'll leave that just now. I'm not sure. It sounds like he's maybe looking at something wrong. Okay, we'll get that bit straightened out. It shouldn't apply here anyway. But I will need to straighten that bit out because there was definitely something. There was definitely something. Okay, let's just get this moving. So here's our. We know we can get, what is it? Greater than or equal to 3 times proximate to this. So we're looking in ascending order. Here's unit 3, right? You can move 1, 2, break in zone of control. You can move 3, 4. Now you can either go 5 into there or 5 into there. That's his 2 choices, right? I'm just going to mark them. I'm going to try and do this carefully and not have to redo it again. So unit 3, yes, okay. And again, like I think what he's saying, we're not, well, maybe I shouldn't look at that. Maybe I should wait until we get that straightened out. So let's just say that he can end there and there and bring 4 strength along. Well, that straight away gives me 3 times because that's 4 against. Remember, he's situationally a 1 because he's a +1 and a -1. +1 for the IP, -1 for the major offensive. So that satisfies it. Just that unit coming down on his own does the job, and in actual fact, he's not breaking any restrictions because he's leaving the town safe and whatever. Okay, so which hex does he go to then? Because we know it's satisfied, we're going to actually move in. We're going to do the action. We're going to make it happen. So none of these are. So that's hang on. That's not true, Grant. Do any of them... Right, I moved to 10.54, don't I? Of course I do. Do any of them surround the unit? A hex that would cause this Soviet unit to be surrounded. Well, in actual fact, yeah, it'll be that one then, because that one does not surround the unit. So there you go. It's that one. Because that one will surround the unit. So 1, 2, 3, 4... 5 into there, and that's that. So then move on to the next unit would be unit 4, and yeah, well, this is a bit that was kind of, well, he can't come along whether we check him to see anyway. He cannot move along because he's going to, now that unit's going to be out of danger, out of surround, sorry, it's going to be not surrounded anymore. So unit 4 cannot move down. Okay, well, I'm going to be in the same position then, or am I? No, I'm not. Because he's not going to move into this hex. He's going to move into this hex. So he would have 2 hexes to be able to get as well, right? And although this one would be adjacent to German unit, adjacent to the same Soviet unit, this would be occupied by a unit adjacent to the same Soviet unit, occupied by a German unit adjacent to the same Soviet unit. So he would then pick empty hex, so he would go there. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's where he would want to go. However, this does indeed now break this restriction because this unit is now proximate to the town. So he will not do that. So there you go. But I hope you see what I was saying there. If this was our target, this unit would have moved to here, and as you can see, at first when I'd done it, and you'll see in the record, because that's still there, first when I'd done this, I thought, oh no, because I can't, because the Soviet units are all proximate to this. They're not, they can't move in when he moves to here. So he could have came out of here into here, He can't, however, come out of here and go into here because then this unit's not got zone of control issues. So if you see what I mean. So he stays back then. So that's 4, 7, and then we're looking at 10. Well, 10 can't get involved. He's too far away. 15 would be next. He can't get around. 17 and 18, however, can. So 17, well, that's not muck about. He's going to go to the empty hex. So 1, 2, 3, right? And then 18 can also join. He can reach either of these hexes. They're both the same movement to reach. So it's going to come down to tiebreaker. It's going to be the lower numbered hex. So it is going to be this one. So he's going to go 1, 2, and then underneath there. So we're actually going to end up with the same strength. Well, no, we're against a 1 now though, rather than a 2, aren't we? So yeah, that's going to be that. So now I need to get the chits. Well, hang on, we that down a bit. We can fit things in there. The combat tactic. Well, what odds have we got? We've got 4, 6, 8. So we've actually got 8 to 1 odds because we're not looking at situational strength anymore. No, that was still the same anyway. So what did I say? 8 to 1 odds. So 8 to 1 odds. I'm not going to bother with that because it's not going to come in at this time, I don't think. And chip pools are 1, 2, 3, and then intelligence and engineer. Oh, right. Engineers adds 2. Oh no, engineers takes the IP off. Okay, see, there are some differences. Yeah, because if he's got an IP, it'll remove it, won't it? The engineers. Where are we? Engineers on the attack. Remove an IP from the defender if present. If no IP present, then add 2 combat strength. So he won't add the combat strength. He will, however, remove the IP. So yeah, it's getting bad. He only needs D1 to eliminate him, doesn't he? Yeah, Martin says I think the first 2 chit draws kill him. So without the Germans taking a hit. So it is still 8 to 1. That's engineers. Intelligence, we can't play a combat tactic. So 8 to 1. 1, 2, 3 chip pools. 4, 5. Then the card that we draw is artillery. So he gets that. So that's 6, isn't it? So 8 to 1 odds, 6 chip pools. So let's get it right this time. So and then the first 2 chip pools, one was air power, wasn't it? Yeah, but one's a D1, isn't it? Yeah, I remember now. This is the first chip pool, which I just show you the first 2, and this is the second chip pool. And that's the 2 minimum. Hey, no, my bad. It'll only be 1 minimum. Right, well it's still going to be 2 chits, isn't it? So this is a 1 minimum because it's only a 1-step unit. And then the second chip pool was this. D1 is enough to eliminate this guy because he can only retreat to here. He's got to retreats to here, but has to take a step loss because he's in an enemy zone of control and he's not beside he's not in a friendly unit hex. So that's where they would stop. So here me, I had 4 chits left, 2 chits left over. Now I've got 4 chits. Right. He would stop there. He gets D1. Yeah, he just stops the combat right there. Artillery goes away. That wasn't needed. So I can put the 4 other chits that I drew, I can put them back in the cup. We can remove these 2 and put them in the set-aside cup because they were used. We can eliminate this unit. And we can check for advance after combat. But I think I was saying, as the video went on, I think I was saying that I lose these victory points. I mean, I still had the unit in here because I think a unit ends up down here and he's surrounded. Because I can't trace supply from this, or I wasn't able to from this. So I think I need to be in supply to hold the victory point. But what I'll do is, I'll keep this one now just because I've got a unit in it, rather than confuse myself. But if these move into here, well, here's the thing, they don't have to move into here. We automatically lose that point now, don't we? And I think I've lost this one because I think, you know what, well, don't think, Grant, go and find out. Okay, right, had things on pause there for a little. I was just glancing back over what Martin's just said, and he obviously within the playtest version of the rules, I think, and he's only just got the game recently, so maybe he was still using his playtest. And he has to look scrap that because he says it does say in 10.11 when checking for proximity of German unit to a given hex or unit, these restrictions apply. So that does not come into it then when we were looking at this unit. Sorry, I'll put it a little bit like that. When we were looking at the possibility of counting this guy for the combat, this restriction would be broken just checking proximity. So right enough, that can't happen. That still leaves me a bit baffled by what I was thinking about, but it might have been that fact, maybe. Okay, well, maybe we'll find out a bit more about that as things move on. Right, so they had made the attack, that's all happened. Yeah, I was talking about the victory points, wasn't I? Well, I've definitely lost this one, so I'm going to knock that down. That's just down to 22, but... Oh yeah, I was away to look for that, wasn't I? That's what I was saying. I got dragged away elsewhere, hang on. Okay, so just checking that, page 41, victory conditions, map edge VP hexes. 4 hexes in the east and south map edges are marked with VP values. Unlike towns and cities, these hexes can't be owned by either player. You gain the listed victory points only as long as a Soviet unit occupies the hex and is able to trace supply. That's how you would gain them. So, and then it says you lose those victory points if the hex becomes unoccupied by Soviet units, or if during a subsequent supply phase the Soviet unit and units in that hex can't trace supply. So we still do hold this one, even though we're pretty sure we can't trace supply at the moment. We still have it occupied. However, we do lose that one, so we are on 22. Right, okay. So advance after combat. We're all over the place here, aren't we? Right, advance after combat for the Germans. Going in this order. See, I'm not sure. Why would they want to go in here? Well, so that we can't take it back, I suppose, Grant. Why not? Yeah, well, in the first hex it applies a VP hex, so that would be an auto advance. And I don't think there's any restrictions being broken with that. Well, not in German supply. Well, I can trace supply because he's on a map edge hex. No. You don't want advance if doing so causes Soviet proximity. No. Unit will advance in a surrounded hex only if it's not anyway. So yeah, I think he does advance into there. Unit 17, well actually he can conduct a 2x advance, Grant. And he may well do that. Because the unit was eliminated. So 2x advance, check the hex with the highest chance of advance. That is in the forward arrow. He is not moving from zone of control to zone of control, because remember there's not a path of retreat. However, that is a hex in the forward direction, and he's not breaking our restrictions, so I believe hang on. No, he's not surrounded there. No, he's fine. So then unit 17, there's no unit in here, so he will advance. Unit 18 might advance. It's a VP hex, so on a roll of 1 to 6, he'll advance. So he's rolled an 8, so he's staying there. Okay. Right, well I think that's the first part. That's 3 times I've done that combat now. So hopefully it's right third time. Okay, and it will trigger the major offensive bonus 10.56, so allowing us to carry out another activation of 40 core after we're finished with this impulse, or this activation should I say, and then we carry out another activation. So can any of the rest do the major offensive? Well, I went through this and found out that they couldn't, but things may have altered a little bit, and I need to look at my numbers more carefully, because in actual fact yeah, I mean we've got a 2 here. No, he's a 2 situationally, because +1 -1. He's a 2 as well, because +1 -2, because he's not in support, and he's got a +1 for the IP, +1 there. He's a +2 -2, so he's a 2 as well. So these are all 2s. We would be looking at unit 4, but here we go. So he can't, because he's breaking this surround. So then we look at 7, and yeah, he can't now because he's allowing, and if they stay where they are, these are too strong. We cannot get 3 times 7, which is 8. No, it's 7. 3 sevens is 21, so 7, 9, even if we were able to bring this guy across, 12, so no. And because we can't move either of them. No. So that's not going to happen. No more major offensive. Right, and then advance. Well, that's turned into a nothing before, but it's in descending order. So this guy cannot move from here to here. He cannot move from here to here. 7 cannot move from here to here, and 4 cannot move from here to here. So no, they can't advance. And that was that. However, we now need to go through the rest of the steps. So that's steps 3 and 4. Step 5 is move to Hex, removes dangerous sound from German unit and Hex and Soviet support, or enables supply trace from German occupied Hex. Right, there's no issues with supply. Yeah. Well, actually, they're on a map edge anyway, Grant. Yeah. So, dangerous surround. It's annoying because I've kind of been through all this, but in a different slightly different position. It's making it a little bit tiring, to be honest, but, well, if you want to insist on doing things right, or getting things right in the end, Grant. Right, so this guy could go 1, 2, 3, and surround, 1, 2, 3, that surrounds that guy. If that moves there, he's surrounded, and he would be surrounded. Yeah, so all of these are in dangerous surround. This one's also, these 2 as well. So all 5 of these units are in dangerous surround. So in descending order, can 15 come around? I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 breaking zone of control. 3, 4, 5, 6. That doesn't help anybody at all, so no. Unit 10 next, no. Unit 7 can't move out of the town. Unit 4, well, Yeah, I had this situation already though, because it doesn't count himself. He's not trying to get out of dangerous round himself. It's another unit he's trying to help out of dangerous round. So because he could actually still potentially move out and into here and keep this guy surrounded, or even out into here and keep that guy surrounded. But that doesn't remove dangerous surround from anybody apart from himself, maybe. But he's not. That's not what he's looking to do. So no, I'm going to skip by that. 6. Move proximate to empty Soviet VP hex. No. 7. Move to hex that causes surround of Soviet unit. Again in descending order. 15. Ooh. No, I think these guys are already surrounded anyway, aren't they? These guys are surrounded. This guy is surrounded. These guys, and he is. Well, he's not surrounded. He can move into here. But 15 can't get around to do nothing. 10 can't get around to do nothing. 7's not allowed to move out of the town. I don't know. I think this is a nonsense, but if 7 moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you move around to there, well, first of all, does it surround this guy? Zok. Yes. Now, can any of the Soviet units move into here? He can't move from there to there. He can't move from there to there. He can't move from there to there. And this is a situation I had before. They can't. It's not. He's allowed to move out if he moves to this hex, because none of them can move in, and even this guy can't go 1, 2. He can reach here or here. He cannot get in here. Okay, that's quite interesting. That's came about then. I'm glad that's came about, because I went through all the last part and thought, oh, that's interesting. So because this guy is not in dangerous round at the moment because he can move. He's only got one hex he can move to, and that's here, but he can do that. If we move this guy around, 1, 2, breaking zone of control, 3, 4, 5, he can then not move into this hex. He's not got any out, because this third corps unit's holding this. And nothing can go into that town. So I'm not breaking the restriction, because the restriction is don't cause Soviet proximity to empty or garrison German VP hex. There is no Soviet proximate to that VP hex as things stand. Okay? I'm going with that. There you go. And we surrounded another unit. Yes. Is there any others? No, I'm going to say no. That was Unit 7, wasn't it? Unit 4 can't move. He's already surrounding this. All these are now surrounded. No, move on, Grant, move on. So Unit 8, if not adjacent to Soviet unit, move closer to Soviet unit. And ascend in order. This is adjacent. This is adjacent. This is adjacent. We're done. No disperse markers to remove. Okay, well, when I say we're done with that part of the activation. We're now going to start again and do it all over again. Yeah, so because the major offensive, it's 10.56, I think it was. I think I read that recently, didn't I? It basically says that if the major offensive within an attack causes the units to become eliminated or dispersed, you conduct another activation. So we activate all units in 40 Corps yet again. So here we go, we do it again. Supply issue behind Soviet lines, no. VP Hex. Ah, yeah. This works, because I've done this before as well. Although it was a slightly different situation. And I thought this was interesting too. Well, and I hope I've got it right, because I'm getting lots of things wrong. So, yeah, action step 2 is, I'm going to get it from the rule book, because it notes it properly there, and I don't need to try and add words. Move to a VP hex regardless of ownership, right? And we're looking at this in ascending order. So, okay, we're looking at unit 3. Ooh, might be him that does it then. Maybe? Yeah, I think he will. So, looking at unit 3, right? Move to VP hex regardless of ownership, right? Move to a German VP hex, and okay, we know that's been adjusted to non-Soviet, but this is a German VP hex, right? So move to a German VP hex only if empty or garrisoned. Well, it is empty. And only if once the unit completes the move, a Soviet unit would be proximate to that unit. Well, yes. So 1, 2 breaking zone of control, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's not got the movement. Right then, that could cause... Oh no, I think this guy will go back anyway. So does he not have the movement? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I need to go 5, 6. Okay, right, he can't do it then. Next unit would be 4. Well, he's going to break his restriction of removing surround from that unit. Next unit would be 7. So I think this guy will do it. So I'll just put a cube there to see. So 1, 2 breaking zone of control, 3, 4, 5. So he is now moved to a German VP hex to which Soviet units are proximate. And when this was in, and it's kind of strange one, but when this is like this, these Soviet units aren't proximate to this VP town because they can't move into it. But when this unit moves, after he's moved here, they are all proximate to this unit because they're adjacent to it. So, but it's still clever because, I mean, he moved out, had an attack and whatever. Hang on though. He's going to remove surround from this guy as well, isn't he? Yeah, so he's not going to be able to do that. Okay, that's even more interesting then. That's right, isn't it? Because, I mean, he came out to surround that guy in the last activation. And now, although he could go back into there with this step 2, he would be then removing surround from that guy because that guy can move from here to here. So he's not going to break that restriction. No, he's not. Okay, is there anybody else that could do it then? That's unit 7. Who would be next in line? 10 cannot reach. 15 cannot reach. 17 cannot reach. 18, 1, 2, he's breaking zone of control. 3, 4, cannot reach. So no. Okay, well that's different to what happened before, but obviously things are in a slightly different position. But you see what I was saying there, it was quite, in the previous bit that I'd recorded, it was able, I get the feeling it was unit 3, wherever he was, and he was able to move back in there just based on that. Okay. Right, well, we don't do anything within step 2 then. So, step 3, no, not step 2, step 2? Yeah, it is, yeah, of course. Right, we're going to draw action cards again then. Right, so let's draw another couple of action cards. And see what we get. So we've got forward attack, so if it's exposed, forward attack first. Okay, bring them down in there. Better look. Right, this is a new territory, so I don't know what's going to happen here. So situational strength of active unit stack greater than or equal to 3. Right, it's just active unit stack then, it's not all other units. So in ascending order, yeah, this is not probably, so he needs to have 3 times. This guy's still a +1, -1. No, he's not. He's not getting a -1 anymore because there's no major offensive. So he's just a +1. So that's a 3. So 4 against 3 is nowhere near 3 times. These guys would get a +1. Well, he gets a +1 -1 because he's outside Soviet support. Did I not spot that in the next part as well? I did. You know that? I did. You're not going to see that because that's... I noticed that next. And yeah, I didn't notice it when it really mattered. Well, they didn't come into it, I suppose, but Martin did point out that I got it wrong, and I did, and I do remember getting it right the next time, I think. Oh well. So, yeah, he gets a +1 for being adjacent, but he gets a -1 for being outside support, so he's the 3. He gets +1 for IP, +1 for being adjacent, -1 for being out. So he gets... Yeah, he gets a +1, yeah, so he's a 3 as well. But you can see none of them are going to be able to move 3 times because it's only the 1 unit stack that's moving. The only one that's got maybe, but I mean it's only 5 strength he's got anyway, isn't it? Because he's stacked with another unit. Yeah, no. Right, there's no forward attack nonsense going on. So next is Soviets exposed. It's a card that we were scared about all throughout the game. We've not really bothered about it for a while, have we? Should we have? Right, active supplied unit stat, proximate to Soviet unit stat, and with situational strength less than 2. Well, he needs a situational strength at 1. There's not. We've already looked at how strong these were to check for the attack. No. No, I'm not. I'm going to just move on by that, and because I'm seeing my space is becoming an issue again. Ooh, I wonder if you go through this and don't actually do anything, what happens then? Okay, so no action cards. 5, move the text, it removes dangerous round. Well, haven't we just all done this? Don't get lazy, Grant, just in case. Because the only extra move we'd done in the last activation was move this unit out of the town, wasn't it? And we'd done this to surround this unit. That's right, because these 3 came down to attack, advance after combat. This guy came down to surround this unit, which is step 7. So, yeah, step 5 is not going to, because even if I can move this unit out to get these guys back in surround somehow, I'd be removing the surround from that unit. So I don't think that's going to apply at all. And then we've got the same one about move proximate to empty Soviet hex. No, sorry, I'm talking rubbish. I'm getting totally muddled up. There's no empty Soviet hex nearby. So I don't think anybody can move to remove dangerous surround without breaking a restriction. Yeah. Oh, hang on, no, Grant. Hang on. Stop. These guys had already been activated. These are now active again. So couldn't... Yeah. Couldn't this guy possibly make a move to... I remember looking at this as well. Right, hang on. This is going to take a little bit of thinking, I think. Hang on. I'll tell you what, that might. I'm saying it was taking a little bit of thinking, but that's where he was. Now this unit can come across 1, 2, 3 into there, and that's surrounded. That's surrounded. No, it's not. No, we need more, Grant. We need. Well, we've got 2 units there. One could go there, and one could go there. And they're all surrounded. If I move that unit 1, 2 breaking zone of control into there, I think that it removes surround from this guy. So 1, 2, we can put a unit in there, and 1, 2, 3. That's probably the best. So this guy's still going to be surrounded. In actual fact, this guy's not surrounded either, is he? And neither's this. No, hang on. No, surely he has. He's got zone of control. Yeah. How's this guy getting out then, Grant? Are you dreaming things up here? Yeah, no, I'm right. I'm at a. He's got zone of control, but he's got an out hex here. Hang on. If he's here, if he stays there, this unit can move into here, and this unit can move into there. He is surrounded. He can't move there. He can't move there. However, if this unit moves out to here, then yeah, there can't be a zone of control on this hex. Yeah. So that moving from there to there would actually remove dangerous surround from that guy. Could he move further then, or because that's only 1, 2 movement. If I move to there 3, I need to. Yeah, I could move to there as well. So in actual fact, I could. Yeah. I think any one of the hexes, 1, 2, 3, 4, would break the danger of surround. Wouldn't they? Move to hex removes danger of surround from German unit. In hex and Soviet support. Oh, please tell me they are, yeah. Or enable supply trays from German occupied hex. Prefer A, lowest position hex. Well, that's a position hex, so looks like he would want to go there. And B is hex adjacent to a Soviet unit, actually. So would this guy do that? Would he move to here? You know, as this guy, well, not just this guy, actually, because that's making it, yeah, that is, yeah, these can't come through here at all now. Right, hang on though. Well, and yeah, even if he was in danger of surround himself, he's moved outside the support zone. Okay, I think that was good. So if we then consider unit 17, could he, well, you know what, I don't think any of these are in danger of surround now, even this one, because of where it's moved to. In fact, I don't even think this guy's in danger of surround now. That's weird. Okay. Right then. So I think that's that then. I don't think there's any other moves. Well, that's good then, because we have actually done something. Because I was wondering what happens if we don't do anything within the activation. Do we then? Because the next step is replace points on the card. You know. There's your question for the day. 10.56 on it. Too far. So major offensive bonus activation. Yeah, it's going to just be activation, I'm guessing. But if I do have a bonus activation and none of the units can do anything, my guess would be we just put the card away and be done with it. But you never know. Could be wrong. And the next part on the card could actually be done. So there's your question for the day. What do we do if we can't do anything within the activation? Because that was on step 7, wasn't it? Move to hex causes surround of Soviet. No, it's not. No, that's only step 5, Grant. Yeah, why did I almost jump? Yeah, because I forgot I put these units down here that were, because before these had been already activated. That's right. Yeah, I don't think any of the rest of them can remove any dangerous round. That's the thing. I don't actually think anything's in dangerous around because of that move. Yeah, I think so. So step 6, move proximate to empty Soviet VPX. No. Step 7, move to hex. It causes surround of Soviet unit. Again in descending order. 17. Well, this is surrounded. This is surrounded. This is surrounded. This isn't surrounded, but I can't get into that no matter what. 15-10. No, they're not getting down there. And we can't get round about any of this, it's too far. Okay, moving on. If not adjacent to Soviet unit, move closer to the nearest Soviet unit. Right, well, this is the only guy that's not adjacent. But he's going to be moving out of this VP hex. Yeah, it might be alright about that. As long as we're not causing Soviet proximity to that VP hex. By the way, that does say German VPX. Yeah, did I not comment to myself that I think that should be non-Soviet VP hex as well? I think so. But if I move this unit away, well, if I just move him into there, it's not creating proximity anyway. So his nearest unit is, he's 1-2 away, he's 2 away, and we can move adjacent. So I'll keep an eye on the restrictions, but 10.54 as a hex that would cause Soviet unit to be surrounded. No. The old one about not being adjacent to, right, none of that applies. So empty hex, yeah. So he would actually move into there, and I don't think he's breaking a restriction there, because it's not making this proximate. It's not removing surround. It's not doing any of that. Right. Okay. You can probably tell I'm trying to put this one to bed. I think. I feel like I've tried this 3 times now. Okay, let's go with that and see what Martin's got to say about it. Yeah. Well, at least they did have an activation. Yeah, happy to hear the answer to that question as well. But I guess it's probably put the card away, move on. Okay, that's that impulse done. This is going to be part 61 now. I'm going to have to mess about with things. That's about an hour, so I'm just going to leave that there. We do have a Soviet impulse coming up next, but and it's not a very long one, because I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm coming down to get a victory point. Well, not get a victory point back, but protect another victory point. Okay, I'll get this put together and I'll be back. Yeah, I might still get a bit in tonight. We shall see. Okay, guys, cheers.